Hey everybody, this is film review number 3. Done a few of these now, and seems like everyone's really enjoying the series. So, as long as I keep getting positive feedback, we'll continue to do these. This is going to be a review of USAR West Regionals, specifically the finals. I was thinking if I wanted to do one for the semifinals or just focus on the finals. Decided to just focus on the finals because I think there's more to talk through in terms of constructive criticism in all parties. And planning to just talk through each point, share my thoughts. We were playing with Package B for this tournament, which included a bigger no-hit zone, specifically 2.1 feet. That was also the no-drop zone. So this is my first time playing a tournament with the no drop zone other than Christmas Classic, which had a 7-foot no drop zone. We were still playing with the Pro Ball, had a 30-foot boundary. We also were playing with the rule that the non-server could start wherever they wanted. This actually wasn't a part of Package B. It wasn't until the end of the day where I realized everyone was doing the rule wrong. We were supposed to have the non-server be able to move once the server was set, and then they'd have to go back each time between each serve. But we just had the non-server stay there between serves, and they didn't have to move. I liked it a lot. I think just moving in general while the serve is happening is pretty distracting. So I like that we did it like that. I hope that future tournaments are kind of lenient with that rule, because definitely don't like restricting someone to stand in the specific spot in just the limited amount of testing that we've done. I really had a mixed bag in terms of our own play in this finals. Some good, some bad. Let's get right into it because there's a lot to get to.
Zeros.
Yeah.
Service.
Yeah, you got it.
You gotta help.
Starting off, really weird receive from me. Definitely don't get the best hand on this here. Makes Tyler have to chase this set. I do a decent job getting opposite. I mean, I really should be the opposite side of the net right here instead of just kind of running up. But I do at least like give Tyler some options as the setter. He makes a nice set. It's a little off net here towards my left hand. So my choice right at this moment is to either lefty push or lefty pull. I noticed that Connor was a little bit out of the play at this point. So I decided to lefty push, and luckily Dan stayed on my lefty pull enough to leave this shot open. So pretty nice shot from me, but I made it harder than it needed to be just by making the receive a little weird, and Connor didn't chase the play enough. He says it at the end there that he needed to come help. Right here, double fault. Don't hate the sequence of serves from me, so I honestly don't mind that I double faulted there, even though, not the best looks there from me. I was struggling to find my serve and setting throughout the whole day. The previous weekend, I was playing with the bigger balls in the MRS Chicago tournament. I found like setting was a lot harder to adjust back to the pro ball because with the bigger ball, there's more room for error. It doesn't like kind of balloon off your hand as much, and like the speed of the game is much faster with the pro ball, of course. So I found setting specifically kind of hard to adjust, and also serving was really hit or miss for me today. Like I didn't serve too great, especially in this series. You'll see. Here we go. That's a pretty decent serve. Uncharacteristic mistake here from Dan. Looks like he does everything right. I mean, he moves his feet, gets there. Tyler and I are both in pretty good spots right now. I could be maybe a little bit more in front of Dan. Like I could move a little bit more and be opposite of Tyler a bit. But we're pretty decent spots when the ball is set. And then Connor doesn't really have a chance to get to that one. So we're up 2-1. We decide to play that through, and really nice decision from me here. So I'm noticing, and a great set from Tyler, just giving me a bunch of options. So I notice here that Dan takes the path around me to the right. And right when he does that, and I see Connor running for the same shot, I know that the push flick is open. So in that split second, I need to decide like where I'm going to hit it. And I decide to push it back towards Tyler. I actually whiffed the hit. It looks like a nice kill, but I actually whiff it. I need to be hitting this a little bit further away from Connor. Because if Connor's like even a step on, if Connor's even a step better in that situation, he's going to get a touch on it. All right, double fault. Looks like he goes cut and then reverse. Tyler, I believe, quadruple faults this. Yeah, I mean, we were struggling with serve percentage in this series. That was a big theme of just our downfall. Both of us were failing to land like a ton of serves, and yeah, not what you want to do, especially in this format where boundary makes hitting harder, bigger no hit zone makes hitting harder. You have the first touch rule where like the first possession has to be 3 touches. There's a lot that can go wrong for the other team if you just put it in play. But we weren't giving, the other team, or we weren't giving ourselves enough chances to do that. I think Tyler might have just been going for too much on these serves. Reverse, I like that look. Right here, I mean, it's a good look. I just think we're maybe going for too much. Dan's going to double fault too, I'm pretty sure. Yep. He goes for a lefty. This is a great set from Tyler. So Dan decides to tap it on. Dan does a really good job getting around Tyler right away to split Connor and him. So they're in a great spot. Right as the set's happening, yep, they're in a really good position. And then right at this moment, I see that Dan's taking away pull. So I'm kind of forced to hit a push shot, and I'm hoping that I can hit it fast enough that Connor doesn't get a hand on it. And in that moment, basically, I hit it just well enough that Connor couldn't get his hand there. But it was very close. I need to probably hit that a bit better. And here we make him play. That was a crazy recovery set from Connor. Just going back here, he's like stumbling backwards and then makes the set as he's like falling down. I actually do a pretty poor job here helping Tyler. In this moment, Tyler kind of has to take away the shot that's towards his left shoulder, and I'm not crashing enough of the push here. So I think, like, even though I'm yelling you, like this has to be me coming back over and helping him more. Like I kind of just watch Connor's set, as you'll see here. Like I'm watching Connor's set. I'm like, oh wow, great set. And then I'm out of the play suddenly and couldn't help Tyler enough there. Good serve. Bit of a funky set from Dan here. It looks like he doesn't wait on it long enough. Yeah, I mean, he's contacting a little bit high. I think he could let it drop a bit more. And then because it hits his hand a bit odd, Connor now has to dive over the net and try to get this in play, but I think he's in the no-hit zone and it hits rim. So we win the point, and we're actually up a good bit to start this game. Good lefty serve from here. This is where it starts to go downhill for us. So one bad touch on the receive where it's like slightly behind me. Tyler has to come running in for the set. I don't actually love that he's going for a right-handed set right here. I think a left-handed set would be a little bit more ideal. But that said, he contacts it extremely low, which I love. Gives me a good bit of options, although it is right over the rim. So the defense is running towards that side of the net. I don't really have too much to do here other than just rip a pull right into Connor or try to hit a push extremely low between them. What I tried to do is a mix of both, I think. I couldn't really make my mind up. And right as that happens, they get a lip and they're in play. Really good set from Dan right here. And just honestly a crazy touch from Tyler. We'll let this play out.
Let's go, Connor.
Yeah, that was really well played by them. So first, I mean, my hit, obviously really bad. Dan makes a good set. Tyler has a really great hand. And right here is where I make another mistake. So my set right here needs to be towards Dan and Connor to make them rotate and to make Tyler hit towards the other side of the open area. Instead, I basically set Tyler directly into them. He doesn't have a ton of options here. It's on the rim. He has to hit directly into them, which makes Connor and Dan's job very easy. You know, they don't have to move at all. Tyler does as best as he can to just hit a hard low flick towards them, and they get a touch, of course. And then right here, I need to be helping Tyler out more. I get kind of caught watching the set. Right there, and I'm completely out of the play. I mean, at this point in time, Dan makes a very, very nice set, gives Connor a middle net, tons of options, and Connor hits a nice diving flick shot. But I'm very out of the play right there. And a really nice drop from Connor here. We didn't see really anyone do this on second serve or first serve by that means, just because we have the no drop zone and people weren't really taking advantage of drops. So kind of caught Tyler off guard there, and they get the break back. The other thing I didn't talk about at the top was we are playing with the equal serving distribution. So very unique format. As you can see, like we were up 7-4 with 2 chances to hold, but we got broken back to back, and now we are down, or now we were up 7-6. But if they hold twice, they're up 8-7. So a lot can swing in just a matter of moments in this kind of serving distribution format. I actually liked the format a lot. I think it's something that I'm still not 100% sure on if I love. Like I think there's parts of it that I like, parts of it that I don't. But overall, like I had fun and enjoyed playing with it. We'll continue the review. That one's slightly high. That one also slightly high. Make them play.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, that was ugly. No. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so first off, very nice set from Connor here. Dan has a ton of options. I'm trying to take away basically the righty pull, and then right when you see flick here, Tyler realizes he has to come cover that. He rotates over, and Dan whiffs the hit. I mean, Dan should have put that away. Now we get an opportunity to get a play. I'm realizing that Tyler's touch is close to him, and he can't soft it. So I'm coming in to make a set in front of Tyler, and I kind of do this like diving, like kind of spin set, which doesn't actually go exactly where I want it to go, but Tyler hits it well enough into Dan that Dan can't get a clean touch, and we win the point there. So we get one of the breaks back. An error there from Tyler. It's a pretty good. I like that I chose a lefty set here. I also like what he's thinking until there. So Tyler, it's a little bit of a short set. I don't know if he needed to righty flick this. Like I think if he gets opposite fast enough, right here, he needs to be towards Connor right now. And he kind of just walks up to the net directly in the direction he was receiving from, which leads to the defense not needing to rotate. It also limits the shots he's able to have. And so because he doesn't rotate around the net, he kind of feels like he needs to hit this push flick shot, which I think if he was closer to Connor right now, he'd be able to dive over the net and hit a righty pull. But because he's there, he does a push shot and whiffs the hit. Decent shot from me. I'm beating them with this sort of like mid-range a lot. So Dan's doing a really good job taking away the pull whenever I'm in this situation. and Connor needs to be a bit faster getting over to this push. I think Connor probably thought Dan was going to take the touch, and I think Dan probably thought Connor was going to take the touch. So I'm in this like weird spot, or they're in this weird spot where I'm hitting it between them, and they're not either communicating or closing the gap fast enough. Right here, I hit my best serve of the day probably. Wish I could have saved that for game 3, but nice to get an ace there on Dan. Dan has not seen that look and pick up, which is it's nice to throw in there in the finals. Double fault, obviously, pretty bad. All right, another pretty weak touch from me. Like not that it's a bad touch on the receive, but given this percentile of serve from Connor, I mean, this is not one of his best serves that he could hit. He has a lot more of an angle there. So for me to get a touch here that's a little out of system is pretty unfortunate. Tyler makes a pretty good set in terms of height. Like, it gives me time to get where I want to be, but look at where I'm contacting it. It's like a bit in the no-hit zone. So again, Connor and Dan don't really have to move for this, and they get the touch. We'll let this play out, though.
Yeah, I got you. It's you. Oh. Let's go!
This is really unfortunate to lose this point. We had lots of chances to win this point. Right here, if Tyler sets me to my left hand, we win it immediately. Right here, I just choose to rip it into Connor because I didn't really want to rip it into Dan. It was basically like I need to pick one of them to hit it hard into. Connor lets Dan take the set, and a little off net here, so a good job by Connor getting it back on. I now have to make a pretty high set, and my set's like pretty good. This is just a really good touch from Dan right there. And then Connor's set goes pretty far, and right here is where we make another mistake. So I'm rotating pretty far away once I see the set is off net. And watch what Tyler's doing right here. I'm expecting Tyler to rotate in front of me and basically help me on push. And then Tyler's expecting that Dan could pull this. And so he's rotating behind Dan and trying to get there on his deep pull and expecting me to be close and on push. So we have a bit of like a miscommunication here, and we didn't say anything to each other. And then I'm a little too far away at this point, and then for whatever reason, not athletic enough to just plant my cleat in the ground and dig that touch. That's got to be me, though. At that point, got to be able to dig that touch. Good serve. Good set. Wow, great plays by Connor there. Nice. Keep beating him with that mid-range. Overall, we did a better job on this play, so I make finally a middle net set, giving Tyler some options. And at this point, Tyler has the push directly into Connor. He has the push flick that's more of like a pull directly into Dan. And basically he goes for the hit into Connor, which I do actually like in this situation. Connor just makes a great touch, giving Dan a chance to put it on. And then I'm right there expecting the hit and get a nice conversion where I squeeze it in between them again. Another play here where I think Connor and Dan are both expecting each other to get the touch, and I'm just trying to make them decide. Dan actually has a really good play on it, but they're kind of both there, so it's weird. Double fault. All right, we make him play. Not the best set in the world from Connor here. Notice that he's basically setting Dan right where he's coming from, which Dan is in a good spot, but if this set is short, then it forces Tyler to have to rotate. They just get pretty lucky that Tyler doesn't get a great touch on this, because I think we're in a great spot. Weird receive. Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Let's go.
Okay, so to start, a bit of an uncharacteristic receive here from Tyler. I make a lefty set, which I like. Not the best thing, though, because it's off net and to Tyler's right. I actually don't like Tyler's shot selection on this one. I would have liked to see like a step through push shot in the direction of where he's going. But like right here, I want to see Tyler hit a push kind of towards the crowd over there. But he decides to pull it, and I think it back pockets right to Connor. And then Connor makes a really nice hit here on what honestly isn't the best set from Dan. You'll notice that Dan's set is kind of in the same spot that we've talked about, where it's short-sided, or it's sort of towards Connor and is set into us. So we're actually in a really good spot right now. But Connor just hits this really, really well, and it's good enough to win the point. Another set. Yeah, this has kind of been the story so far, but this set right here needs to be short-sided. So I think because it's right into me off net, I have to hit it into them. But it needs to actually be right where, sorry for going back so much, but it needs to actually be right where Dan is right now. So I can hit like either a lefty pull away from Connor or some sort of like righty push shot into the space where Connor's going to have to collapse it, and then Dan's going to have to make a crazy play. But we don't get the chance to do that. We just get lucky that they don't get the touch. Double fault, unfortunate. Good receive from Connor. Good set from Dan here. Makes or gives Connor a few different options. I do a really poor job of reading this hit from Connor, but Connor does a really nice job of disguising it. So he takes that extra little step at the last second and opens up his hit to hit this ball in sort of like a boomy boundary hit. And then I didn't see it in time, and I don't react fast enough to run that down. Nice serve from Connor there. Notice that I kind of just reach out. So right here, I step a little bit too much. I take that extra step, and I'm stepping to the left as Connor's tossing right. And then right here, look at where my foot goes. I'm receiving this from like 9.5 feet rather than cutting the angle in and going on the circle. So because of that, I get beat. I actually don't know how I didn't get a hand on this because it goes like right through my hand. It's probably one of those ones where like Connor just hit it fast enough that couldn't really react to it quite in time. So nice serve. I question high there at the end, but that was definitely clean. And then here, Connor has a really nice serve. At this point, we're in a really tough spot. I mean, we're down 5 points, but also now we're serving. So the odds are against us, and let's see if anything can happen here. Not the best set from Dan. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Same thing. I mean, Connor has to hit into us. He hits it well enough that Tyler gets a little bit of an out-of-system touch. And then I like that I did a lefty set here, but it's just not a good enough set to give Tyler a chance, and we lose the point. Double fault. And another bad set for me. So, yep, need to be making Dan move here. But I don't. I make them just stay in the same spot. Tyler has to hit it directly into them. And then they make a great play. I think Tyler's expecting me right here to come help him more than I am. And Tyler's stuck in this weird spot where he has to take away pull, but now he has to cover push too because I'm not rotating quick enough. This was a crazy play. So on this one right here, obviously Dan has a really high quality serve. I get a weird hand on it. Tyler has to make an athletic play towards a set. I hit a crazy off net lefty. They're pretty in system here. And then at this moment, I realize Connor has the backhand, so I'm trying to take it away. He actually whiffs this, so I'm able to get a touch on it. Like, Connor can definitely hit that shot a lot better than he did. So lucky enough to get a touch. And then Tyler sets me middle net here to let me do this sort of diving push shot. Clips rim. And yeah, another sort of odd set from Connor here. I would have liked to see the set go towards where Tyler and I are, but instead he kind of pushes it into Tyler only, and then I'm able to just kind of stay in the same spot. Dan doesn't really have any option here other than just rip something into us, and he misses the hit. Nice receive, and good shot. So we lose game one. Big difference here, or I guess like if you look at the stats, the big difference between our teams is that our serve percentage, Tyler and I combined 10 for 18, whereas Dan and Connor combined 15 for 17. So we had 8 double faults and they had 2 double faults in game one. I mean, that's a 6-point swing, and it's basically what we lost by. We lost 21-14. So that's where the points came from. Let's move on to game two. Nice serve to start out. Really like this look from Tyler. Would love to see him do more of these lefties on first serve. Good receive. Another pretty bad set from me. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying the same thing a ton now, but this set needs to be more towards where, more towards the middle of the net. I push him completely off net here, and Tyler just does this like little boop thing towards the boundary, make him play. Dan messes up the set, and then we win the point. This was funny because, like, I mean, first off, it's definitely high. We can slow it down. Let me see if I can do this. Is this how you do it? Yeah. I have to press like the dot on the keyboard to see the exact frame. It hits back pocket, which could still be clean if it crosses my shoulder, but let's see. Yeah, this looks high to me. Anyway, they don't call high, they call foot fault. Lucas calls football like after the serve, which is funny. So we're up 3-0. Nice. I hit a righty cut, gets them a little bit out of system. Connor doesn't have the cleanest receive in the world, and then Dan here tries to make an athletic play, just 2 out of system. I have a really good timing on this serve here. So I'm stepping right, faking the left, and then right as I see Dan take away right, I keep the left open, and then I just swing it right away. So we're up 5-0. Pretty sure I get aced here. Yeah. Really not good from me. Got to be further back on Dan. I mean, right here, Dan's only going to hit righty cut and righty jam. And I'm standing at like 7.5 feet. Probably need to be at like 8.5 feet against him. So I get caught off guard by the speed, and Dan hits a really high quality serve, so they get that point. Okay set, but kind of weird. Yeah. Nice rotation here from them. So let's go back. Right away, Dan's getting around me. He does a really good job splitting. And then I kind of whiff the set. Like, it like spins off my hand a bit weird. And Tyler's now having to hit this kind of lefty push shot. Dan has a great hand, and I don't have a good hand. So that's the difference of the point. Even though we were up 5-0, now we're only up 5-2. I don't know why they played this. This was high, and on Tyler, I don't know why you'd play that. Connor has like a bit of a whiff here of a set, and then I think Dan's just in the no-hit zone, so we get a bit lucky. Double fault. Connor has a pretty good look there. They double fault. It's good for us. Yeah, not the best receive here from me. So I get a hand on it, but it's not. It's an out of system receive. And then Tyler's trying to make this nice lefty set, which I like that he went left-handed there, but really hard for him to get this over the net. Just give it the first touch that I gave him. And then at this point, I'm actually trying to rip it directly into Connor, like a low like push shot. But it hits back pocket and goes out of bounds. So unfortunate. Double fault again. Hate to see it. That one's nice. Love to see that one. Do the same thing as I did last time against Dan, and I just wait to see if he goes for the right again, because I was actually planning to swing left here. But right when I see he's like kind of patient on the left, I'm like, all right, well, the right's open, and so I hit that. Dan has a really good sequence here, actually, because he's been stepping right basically every time. And then this time he steps left and hits a righty cut. And it gets me a little bit off balance. I actually get lucky that this is high. I think this is like just barely high for Dan. Yeah, it's like up at my head, but it's close.
Come on. Yeah. No, it was fine. Come on.
We get bailed out with a double fault. Nice serve, good receive. Good set. Don't love Tyler's choice on this shot. I think, for one, he's not getting opposite of the ball here. He's just walking up to the net. I think he's got to be opposite. And then right when I give him this set, he does this a lot of the time where he'll fake this right and then pull this left towards himself. But for whatever reason, I don't know why he doesn't pull this with his left hand away from Dan and Connor. He just kind of tries to like rip it into the direction that he's going and clips rim. So yeah, a bit of a weird choice from Tyler on that hit. Unfortunate. Yeah, the quadruple faults were racking up for us. This one was rim for sure. I think so. I mean, it's close, but I think the ball spins a little bit weird, and I heard a rim sound. All right, lots of double faults around the board. This is why, I mean, I'm just such a big fan of bigger ball at this point. I had mixed emotions going into this tournament just because I'd played bigger ball the previous weekend and loved it. Did not love playing with the pro ball after playing with bigger ball. So it's just hard to have high serve percentage, high rallies, really anything. Like even with the rule sets that we put in, like serve percentage tanks with pro ball, and it was really evident at this tournament specifically, and in the finals, honestly. Here, let's let this play out.
Yeah, you got me. Stand.
Nice serve sequence from Connor here. I'll just go back for a second. But usually he's faking this right and not hitting it immediately, but this time he hits it immediately and it catches me a little off guard. I get a hand on it, and then Tyler makes a really good set getting me back into the play, but for some reason my foot was in the no-hit zone here. I really don't feel like I was in, but whatever. Nice serve. Nice. All right. Nice serve again. Great hand.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, come on.
This one actually was out of bounds. I couldn't believe that because it felt like a really good hit from Tyler, but I think it just barely went out. Anyway, this set, not a good set from me. I need to be setting Tyler and give him more options, but I'm putting him directly into them again. So it forces Tyler to kind of just rip it low, and I think it hits back pocket enough where it's out.
Oh, no way. Oh, never mind. I'm across.
Really good touch from Dan.
Let's go!
Yeah, really good touch. Great set from Connor. And then, yeah, that's a dime from Connor. And then right here, I'm not helping Tyler at all. like I need to be rotating more when Connor sets it. And so it puts Tyler in this tough spot where like it's basically a one-on-one when it doesn't need to be. And he has to decide right then and there, like, am I going to try to touch it or am I going to let it go out of bounds? How is he supposed to know it's going to go out of bounds? I mean, that's a really tough play for him to make. So I need to help Tyler more here. And they get the break back. All right, we get bailed out. All right, making him play. Not the best set here from Connor. It honestly isn't the worst thing in the world, though, because it's better than setting Dan just to his right hand where we're already set up. Like, I do like that he's trying to make us rotate, sort of like I've been talking about, but it's just slightly too off net to where Dan can't really hit something too cleanly. I mean, Dan contacts it a bit too high. This is probably why he missed if we, like, slow it down. Dan's contacting this. Let's see where. Yeah, he's contacting it like at his waist when I think he needs to contact this like towards his knee. So that's why he whiffs the hit. Dan says he can't set me left there, or you can't set me left there to Connor, but I actually do like that Connor tried to set that, even though it was an off net set.
Yeah, you got me.
Nice. We get lucky here that Connor kind of just whiffs this, and then I make a really nice push flick shot, which I just hit really low contact point, pretty hard to get up on, and we're up again. Double fault. Connor makes him play, or makes us play. Good touch there from Dan.
Yep. Again. Let's go.
Dan's celebrating early, and they win this point. Just to go back for a second here. Really good set from Tyler. I actually like this. Like, it gives me some options. I just rip it right into them, and Dan makes a really nice play on the ball there. Right here, we're both collapsing the shot. Tyler has a chance to make a really crazy set here and honestly gives me a really good look at it. I just don't really know what to do with it when it's that high, and I wasn't going to like run backwards. So I try to make him play and tap it on, but miss. See if we can continue our success this game. Nice shot from Connor there. Dan puts him middle net. And his signature backhand flick. Nice. I got just enough of it. Or I give Dan just enough of a bad touch that Connor can't make this athletic set. Connor actually makes that set a lot of the time. I think his footing was just expecting a little bit better of a touch there, so he was running towards the net rather than backwards. Dan swinging some lefts. Nice touch. Oh, Connor's in the no-hit zone. Wow. Yeah, this is a good lefty push from me. But, yeah, we just get lucky that they get the touch, but Connor is in the no-hit zone. Nice serve. Ooh, great set. Great set from me here, just giving Tyler some options. And then right here, this is the same thing as last time. Like, I would have preferred to see Tyler hit like that fake righty shot where then he's like pulling it with his left hand away from himself, but he decides to hit this like running through, step through righty shot into Connor, which he's actually close to being in the no-hit zone, but tries to avoid Connor. So that's where the disagreement was. He tried to avoid Connor, and observers agree with us. Nice serve. Nice touch from Tyler. Nice hit. Yeah, this actually isn't the best set for me, so Tyler kind of bails us out here. Great spot and touch from Tyler, and then I'm pushing Tyler way too much towards himself. So Tyler just hits a really, really nice push here, but I need to give Tyler more options. Nice. That was pretty. So right here, Connor tries to like beat me with this sort of mid-range boom shot and hit it towards the boundary, but he doesn't hit it like hard enough, so it doesn't go high, and then I roof the ball. Tyler gives me middle net and some great options, and then I love this. What I did was like instantly when I see the set, I'm like faking right, and it kind of moves Connor like a step to the right, even though my intention is never really to hit it that direction. And once Connor takes that step, he's kind of out of the play for my backhand flick, and just hit it right by him. Connor hits the lefty reverse. Believe double fault to end it. Okay. So difference of game 2 to game 1. I mean, we put more serves on the net. Last game, I think we were 10 of 18 serving. This game, we are 13 of 17. So 4 less double faults. Pretty nice. And then they made a few errors, a few no-hit zones. We were playing a little bit better defense. I think our energy was just a bit better. And, yeah, going into game 3 now. Decent receive. Bit of a weird set and hit from me. So the set, it's a bit short-sided. Would have liked to see it a little more middle net. And then right as I'm here, I need to be hitting this with my left hand. I don't know why I chose to swing this with my right hand. But I swing with my right hand and I whiff the hit. So we start down, getting broken. Good serve. Wow, that was a weird set from Dan. I don't know why Dan. This is why like ambidextrous setting is so important. Is Dan's like coming towards the net here, and he needs to be able to set this. Oh, sorry. Dan's running towards the net here, and he needs to be able to set this with his left hand. He's trying to set sort of like this like across his body with his right hand, and it's hard to do that when you're running across the net. Much easier to do it with your left hand. So he whiffs this set, and then Connor tries to put it on, but he can't. Double fault, not a good way to start. Not the best receive. Really good set. Wow, that was a really good set from Tyler here, giving me time and middle. And I should have pulled that, but I hit a push. Connor makes a nice touch, and then Dan tries to get it on, but he can't. Lucky that we're winning that one. That looked high. Not a good set for me. Wow, what a touch from Tyler. Wow, what a touch.
Come on, dude. Let me win the clip.
He's saying, let me win the clip. It's funny. They've been in the no-hit zone a lot.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, just not quite athletic enough from me here to make this set. So Connor makes a pretty good set here. Dan's just having to rip it in between us. Tyler gets a nice hand, and I'm a little too far away from the ball and not athletic enough to make this diving lefty set. I get it in the air, but it's just way too far away from the net. Probably trying to do too much there. We play through. Really nice shot. I actually thought Tyler was going to push this, but decides to wrap it around himself, which I actually really like. He could have pushed this by Connor's right shoulder, or he could have pulled it by Connor's right shoulder. Connor's like 2 1-on-1 here. Dan's a little bit out of the play, and Tyler hits a nice shot. Ooh, good receive. Nice shot for me. Oh my gosh. All right, let me go back. Right here, perfect middle net set. I do this like righty fake. I could hit it righty or lefty. I mean, everything's pretty open for me. And I decided to try to split them and hit a low shot, which I like the decision.
Yeah. Come on. Let's take it.
Another no-hit zone. Dang, we're getting lucky. That was a good look.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Oh, my.
That, like, we don't have the angle of it, but whenever a receiver looks like this, looks like that after a serve, I question if it was either high or side. Like, I don't really remember what happened on this serve, but, I mean, when do you see Dan receive like that, where, like, his left hand's, like, flailing upwards? Feels like it could have been bad, but we get lucky. It's a break, and we're up 7-4. Not the best serve receive from me there.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. Me. Come on!
So it starts with my receive, right? Let's go back. A little bit out of system. Tyler makes a fast set here that's off net, and I'm having to hit this with my left hand. And Dan makes a really nice play. Connor makes a diving set that's to Dan's left hand. It hits back pocket, and now this should be more in system than it is. Tyler sets me off net to my right, and I have to hit it into them again. And because of that, Dan gets another touch, and Connor puts Dan just over the net enough where Dan can rip it by us. So you'll see the theme of this, right? Like the theme of this finals is setting over the net. It's not what we did well, and Connor and Dan have done that better than us so far.
Let's go!
That's a great serve from Dan.
Oh, yeah!
Hey, I mean, that's a great serve from Tyler, too. This is why, like, I really wanted Tyler to hit this sort of, like, left right away, is like, especially on first serve. It goes wider than you expect, especially, didn't even hit it that hard. I mean, he hit that with, like, 50% power. That was great. Fakes it, goes for the right.
Let's go!
I don't know. So they call this clean. I want to go frame by frame just because I haven't done this yet. I mean, it definitely hits his fingertips or like goes over his hand. It looks like it doesn't clear his shoulder, though. I think that's clean. I think if Tyler was like a little bit lower, though, in his stance, it would have been high.
Where did you go? Here then? I thought it was high. Yeah, you got me.
All right. Pretty in system. Nice. I mean, this is what happens when you get a good receive and makes the set that much easier and then makes the hit that much easier. Connor here, what he does wrong, or I guess what they both do wrong, is Dan is in a good spot for the pull, of course, right? Connor's kind of one-on-one here with my backhand shot. And so I'm basically deciding like right away, like where do I have the one-on-one? It's against Connor, and that's where I have to decide right now, like, am I going to hit this righty push shot into him or backhand away from him? And he's too much on the push here and leaves the backhand open. Serve. Wow, great hand. I wish I could have this one back. I mean, this is just an unreal play from Tyler here. And at this moment in time, I'm like, okay, well, it's off net. I got to rip it into them or just do... I would have actually loved if I'd, like, faked a right here and, like, hit a lefty, like, moved my feet a little bit more and then hit a lefty shot. Like... I try to rip it into Connor, obviously, and it hits back pocket and goes out of bounds. But if I just rotate here, instead of taking that step to the left, if I just take a step to the right and then hit it with my left hand, I think we win the point. So really unfortunate footwork from me. Nice. Yep. Again, I mean, we've lost like 2 rallies like this already, but off net set leads to a touch. Another off net set leads to a touch. And on net enough that doesn't lead to a touch, and they win the point. Wow, it's a great play from Dan. Oh, nice touch from me. Nice. So right here, I actually really like Tyler's set. It gives me some options. It's not, off net. And then at this point in time, I have the choice of hitting the backhand flick into Dan. I have the choice of hitting the backhand kind of pull away from Dan. And I feel like for whatever reason, I didn't do the backhand pull. I would have liked to have done that here, but I choose to hit a backhand push. I think what I was expecting was Dan would move towards the pull and then Connor wouldn't be able to get to the push fast enough. But Dan just stays on the push the entire time. Oh, he's actually kind of covering both. That's just a crazy play from Dan. And then right here, it's off net enough that I really only have one option, and it's to body and get close. So get the nice touch. I think Connor could have set Dan a bit better here. Let me see. Oh, okay. No, he couldn't have. This is just a crazy play from them. I mean, Connor has barely any reaction time here and just gets the ball up, and then I'm in the perfect spot. I don't even do anything that well. I just am in the perfect spot. And then just over the net enough where I can kind of push this by them, and they're both expecting each other to get the touch. So really nice. It stays in bounds too. I'm pushing Tyler too much on the set again. Wow, that's a really nice set from Dan here. Yeah, that's a really nice set. Ooh. Nice set from them again. Good pressure from Tyler here, and Connor puts Dan over the middle of the net. I actually have a great chance to get a hand on this. I think I do get a hand on this. Yeah, I mean, we're in a really good spot closing. We're both there, but it just doesn't go up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Doing too much, I think. We'll take it. Double faults across the board. Wow, the double faults are really racking up. Gasaway would not be happy right now. Good serve from me. A little bit of a short set from Dan. I actually thought Dan was in the no-hit zone here. I remember, but let me look back and see if he was. Yeah, I mean, he's... Oh, is he? Yeah, he's all over it. It's kind of hard to see, but Dan's left foot right here is like over the line. Unfortunate that the observers didn't notice that.
Come on.
Nice set. Yeah, it's so easy. The game is so easy when you put the ball over the middle of the net. I mean, it makes the defense, like, Connor's in a weird spot here where, all right, Dan got around, nice. They're both in a really good spot, but it doesn't matter because it's too much space to cover when the ball is just, that far center or this much in the center of the net. Connor's kind of in this weird one-on-one where I know that I have the space to push it by him, but he has to stay on pole, and Dan's just not quite quick enough to get over there. Wow, that's a good serve. Wow. Like I said, it's so easy when you put the ball over the middle. Tyler makes a really nice hit here. I mean, he's faking right. He could be hitting this step through. He could be hitting this lefty. He decides to backhand it back towards himself. So a really creative hit from Tyler there. Make him play. Off net. Got to be getting a touch on that. Connor gives us a gift with this off net set, and then I think I'm not low enough here. That's got to be me. I think maybe Tyler got a hand on it, but it didn't go up. I don't know. We were in a good spot. Unfortunate. Lots of double faults. It continues.
That's football, of course.
Oh, this was sad. They call foot. Yeah, I get banged on. I mean, Connor foot faults. You can't play through a foot fault, and then Connor hits a really nice reverse. That was like his first like crazy serve that he hit on me. Wasn't quite expecting it. Great receive here from them. Dan kind of gives us a gift with this off-net set. Tyler gets a great hand. It just doesn't go up. Dang. Do I double fault here? Yeah. Lovely. So, I mean, we're down 2015, but it's really not as bad as you think, because if we hold twice, then it's 2017, and then we just need 2 breaks, and then we're holding again. So really, we're down 2 breaks here, even though we're down 5 points. Yeah, let's let this play out. Weird one here where I get jammed again and have to like rip it into them. I decided just like rip it into Connor, and then Connor pushes the ball a little bit too much. I expected Dan to actually kind of tap this on, but he decides to like win the point and misses. All right. Not a good set for me. We're lucky we won this point because I jammed Tyler again. He's a little creative here with the lefty, which I love. And then Connor makes a really good hand on it. And Dan, I feel like Dan should have let Connor get the soft here. Let me see this again. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess Dan was kind of thinking Connor was running backwards, but I think they win this point if Connor softs it. And now this is the play that Tyler makes that almost ignites us. It was ridiculous. I mean, it's just so good. I've watched this back like 50 times, but the soft touch here, I mean, he's like laying out completely. His knee was pretty bruised up at this point too, so he was like landing on his bruised knee, diving backwards, and I mean, it's like a dime. This was one of the best middle net sets he's made all series. And I clear the no-hit zone. Connor and Dan are begging for a call. Just need 1 break here. But sad how this one ends. Yeah. But yeah, it was, I mean, here's the difference, right? Tyler and I combined 12 for 20 serving. Dan and Connor combined 16 of 19. I mean, that's a huge difference. We had 8 double faults, and they had 3 double faults. I mean, Dan went 10 for 10 serving. So if we have 8 double faults and they have 3, I mean, we're giving them 5 points just like that. And even when we were tapping it on and making them play, like we had plenty of opportunities for touches. So sucks that it happened the way it did, but yeah, really well played series by Connor and Dan, and lots to take away from for really all 4 of us, but for myself and Tyler specifically, I mean, we got to put more balls on the net. We got to stop setting each other for those jam sets and just put the ball over the middle. And yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we can fix. I think bigger ball will help us as a team a ton because serve percentage is just going to be higher with bigger ball. But yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. It's been fun to kind of go through. I hope you've enjoyed and taken some things away from this. We'll make sure to do this the next time we have another run. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed.